Hey guys, I'm just here like making a quick dinner and I just wanted to do a quick video for day 5, I believe, of VEDA. And I was just thinking to myself because especially when I'm cooking and whatnot, even if it's something simple, I like to listen to music or podcasts and, just kind of have that background noise, I guess, to an extent. And of course, when I'm creating, when I'm making comics, especially Warlord, depending on the scene, I'll listen to certain types of music. Or if I'm very interested in the topic of a podcast, I'll listen to that podcast as I'm creating. Or if a favorite artist of mine or something is on Twitch or on YouTube live streaming, I'll just leave that on as well. And it makes me curious, like, if you're a creative, what do you do? Like, do you also listen to music? Do you prefer silence? Do you prefer podcasts, television? Music to me is a big thing. Even when I was little, I was always felt like that extra kick of inspiration or whatever, listening to music, especially depending on what I'm doing at the moment. I kind of imagine things in montages, so to speak, like 80s sports movies montage or something, or like kids sports movies from the 90s or whatever, like the famous Rocky training montages. I don't know, that always used that, even to this day it still kind of pumps me up to do that. Sometimes before I actually start creating, start illustrating or whatever, I'll try to meditate, and afterwards I'll just put on a song or something to kind of set the mood for me to, get in there and start creating. I will likely make a more dedicated video talking about what specific music I'm listening to or what specific podcasts. But just like a general idea lately with the remake of Fred Pearson, the Mighty Warlord that I'm doing for print, I've been listening to a lot of Aerosmith, specifically the album Pump, which is probably my favorite Aerosmith album. It's very hard to like nail down just one favorite album. Like, I'm always between Pump and Nine Lives and even Permanent Vacation. I do really like the older stuff also, but I guess since that was like the generations of albums I grew up with, those are the ones that I listen to the most, even though I also really liked Just Push Play. I didn't really like the last studio album much though, to be honest, the last two. Like the blues one, and I forget the name of the last one that they did. There's a couple of songs that was alright, but I don't know, they retired of doing studio albums after that last studio album they did, to kind of just concentrate on doing singles and concerts and whatnot. And I think it probably was time for that to come, sadly. Nothing good lasts forever. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Aerosmith while working on chapter 27 of Fred Pearson, The Mighty Warlord, the webcomic. Since that is a lighter story, that's kind of like what's called like the breather story, which is kind of like the stories that happen after or in between a long segment of very intense chapters. Just something to like give a palate cleanser and a breather to the readers so that they can like, calm themselves down. And as a creator too, you kind of calm yourself down and set up for that next step as well. I've been listening to a lot of pop music for that one. So like stuff like Selena Gomez actually has a couple of songs that kind of get me into the mood of creating, especially that song "Love You Like a Love Song." That's a pretty fun song actually to draw to. It's kind of hard to not nod your head to that song, at least to me, while I'm creating. So that's pretty much my mindset when I go into creating, when I go into making comics. If you're a creative, an artist, a writer, or something, if you have like a particular playlist or podcast or album that you like to create to, feel free to share that as well. If I haven't heard it, I'll probably check it out myself. I will make a more dedicated video about that, I guess, in the future. But, until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for celebrating this 16 years of my webcomic with me. It's actually in the top 50 most read comics again, and over at the Duck Web Comics. I feel really fortunate that it's actually in the top 30 overall and top 25 comic book stories. So it's just amazing that to have that kind of longevity and to have that kind of patience from the readers, to that when I do finally upload something, people continues to read it. And funny enough, a new generation of readers just discover it too. So I'm really fortunate for that to happen. So once again, thank you everyone, and catch you all next time. Stay creative.